Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Blade. Let's see what we've got coming up this week. So it's currently 6 a.m. I'm in the tractor. I've just had about an hour and a half journey down to the first site and it's still pitch black. However, luckily we can get the GPS fired up and get cracking mowing. The lads aren't here yet. They probably won't be here for another hour. So let's see how ahead we can get. Right, Ash is here. You might just be able to see him. And I've done a fair bit, to be fair. I've done all of this. The sun's starting to come up, so I'm going to keep cracking that whip. And cracking that whip we do. I keep cracking on with the grass whilst the lads are tending with all the other spaces around the school. I am leaving site. We had a little bit of a nightmare. This is where I wish we had a handheld camera and I could have filmed what went on, but basically blew an O-ring on the trike and it took us about an hour to get it sorted and then cover in paint. We're not behind in time, but we are now just a little stretched. So I'm heading off to the next site to start off with the grass cutting, and Ash will stay behind, finish the line marking and do the final site check. So yeah, one of them mornings, but we adapted and overcame and we sorted it out. So happy days, on to the next one. So for those of you that haven't seen the channel before, this is one of our larger sites and I'm starting off with the boundary, setting it off right next to the football pitch. So the next stripe, once we've made some space at the bottom to turn around, the next stripe will be starting off the stripes on the pitch. Going for a singular stripe today to make it nice and profound and make sure everything's nice and lined up, dialed in on the GPS to get those perfect pictures as we always expect. We do this using GPS navigation systems. We're using a CHC auto steer system and it makes things mega easy, accompanied by the Trimax to produce a lot higher quality for our clients and customers, and also it just looks amazing. Once I'm finished at the lower end of the site on the two higher end football pitches, we move over to the other side, which is the community football side. And we've still got the GPS lined up, so when you look right from the bottom of the field, everything is lined up. The lads are finally now on site, so they're starting to finish up all the finer details, start with the boundaries, any hedges that need doing, lots of strimming, weed control, hedge work, etc. Lots to be getting on with. But we finally get there and I start checking my overlap and finishing up on the rest of the field. Once that's done, I just walk around site and just check the progress to see if there's anything else that the lads need help with. And after speaking to Ash, I come to the conclusion that it would be best for me to start with the line marking. So I got the Bocom trike out and we got one lacrosse pitch and 3 football pitches marked out, ready to complete this site. What are you doing? You got a new job?
New job.
Does he pay you alright?
Not as much as it.
So with the tractor left on site ready to pick up tomorrow, I managed to get some admin time and we had some much needed tyres that needed changing. So we got a tyre change for the trailer and we're also going for some new tyres ready for winter on the Ranger. Luckily Orbit tyres sorted us out in Wellingborough and we've gone for some BC Goodrich cross country tyres. So yeah, see how we get on with them. So you're now joining us early morning on a Tuesday and Ash dropped me off at the tractor. I pick it up and we get to site. When I get there, the lads were already there getting all of the kit off and I had the Trimax greased up ready to go. So obviously we can start mowing. I started off with the boundary work and once the sun came up we can start setting those stripes down. Luckily there's not too much dew on the ground so we can carry on with the cutting, but we're still getting some crazy growth here today. You can see Ash just whizzing around on the hustler, doing all of the areas that I struggle to get with the tractor. So working as a team, we aim for completion before the kids get back to school. This minimises any health and safety risks. And also it's just easier for us because we won't get trapped there as they're lining up doing their registers. We're all done mowing and all the other bits are now down. We've finally had a line marking plan for this site. So I'm going to program in all the pitches on Roy and then leave Ash once they're ready to go. So you can crack on and I can move to the next site and get mowing. So with the pitches all created and loaded up on the turf tank, I leave Ash to crack on finishing off the line marking, and I can jump in the tractor and head to the next site. We get straight on with the smaller section of this site, which is just one 5x5 and a little bit of grass around it, starting off with the border, and then we can start setting our stripes down to get this completed. Right, the small section is done. I'm just moving on to the first large area of grass. Don't know what it is today. I've not filmed much because the phone has been non-stop. I'm not complaining. We've picked up 2 sports pitch grass cutting jobs. And then, yeah, just been dealing with current clients and whatnot. Trying to work and tractor at the same time, switch it off, make a call. Bit of a nightmare. But anyway, we're all loaded up on the GPS. Good to crack on. So let's get the boundary sorted and then crack on with the stripes and try and get ahead. So when the lads turn up, they've got lots to get on with. So at this point I'd called Ash and I'm definitely going to be well ahead of the boys. I start cracking on with all of the football pitches. We've got a 7v7, a 5v5 and 2 11s to get done on this side of the pitch, and it's starting to look fantastic. We're still getting quite a lot of growth here, but the grass root system is looking really healthy and we can lay down some fantastic stripes. With this side coming to an end, coming to the end of the field, I can then move over to the other side of the hedge line where we've got more pitches. Again, another 2 11v11s, a 7v7 and a 5v5 to combat. I just start off with the border. This side is fairly tight, but I managed to get it sorted and we ended up with a nice double stripe ready for the boys to turn up and do all of the border work and line marking. Once they'd arrived, I asked Ash what I can do to help out to make things quicker. Obviously he's too busy eating lunch watching everyone else, but I managed to jump on the right and get all of the smaller bits sorted whilst he was on the hustler, Cameron was strimming, and then Ash jumped on the line marker to get everything line marked ready for the games this weekend. Okay, we are at the final site of the day. It's a fairly large one, but not at the same time. So tractor work, there's only 2 pitches, but there's a lot of boundary work, quite a bit of strimming, and like loads of little vergy bits. There's also a car park we look after, so there's plenty to get on with. One of the things that I've noticed whilst editing the last couple of videos is it's very tractor heavy, and I'd love the viewers and subscribers' feedback on that. At the moment I don't have the money to go out and buy like multiple cameras for the teams and that to use, but potentially we could get a GoPro on one of them or something like that. But what I need is like feedback from you lot to let us know what you want to see, or whether it's just more cameras on the tractors from different angles or whatever. Just let us know. But it would also be great to get a couple of questions from you guys. More than happy to answer questions to do with commercial grounds maintenance in these videos and answer them that way. But yeah, any help would be very much appreciated. We have got a goal of getting to 10,000 subscribers, so if you could help with that as well, that would also be amazing. But anyway, less of the grovelling. Loaded up the GPS, just going to change the guideline over for mowing guideline, because last time we were here we were verti draining, and then I am going to get cracking. I'm not going to film the boundary work, but you know the sketch. We're going to loop the boundary, then start with the stripes. Happy days. So you'll be pleased to know the waffling's over and we're starting off with the stripes. We have already done the boundary work and we're getting to work to get on top of this site as quick as possible. And as you can see, I'm coming to the end. The lads have already done a really good job of doing the strimming and most of the border work. There's only a few final touches to do. I jump on a trike, we get this line marked. It's just an 11v11 and a 9v9, and this one is now ready for the weekend. It's Wednesday, it is around 7:30 and I am on site. I got down fairly early this morning because I went and picked the tractor up, and now I'm on site. The lads have not arrived yet. They must be caught in traffic or something. But anyway, we are at one of our sites down in Milton Keynes, and it is the site that has got the cricket square in the middle and just the outfield. It's been featured before, got a quite good look at it on our drone video, so if you've not seen that, go ahead and click up there and go watch that. But basically, cricket square in the middle, outfield, and then some surrounding verges, and then there's a community hall just behind my shoulder that's got some hedge work, so we'll have to give that a check over as well. Look at that, they've just arrived. happy days, bang on time. So just firing up the GPS, gonna get the tractor going, and we're gonna start cutting some grass. Let's get on with it. So with such a simple outfield, we start off just creating some mowed areas around the cricket square, making sure I'm not going on the cricket square with the Trimax, although these are due for some renovations very, very shortly. Before I crack on with my stripes, Ash jumps on the right just to get the squares mowed. This will keep the weeds at bay before we renovate it, ready for the next season. And then sort out all my stripes, get the GPS tuned, and we're putting down some nice circular stripes on the tractor. Got quite a wide area berth around the square, as you saw I did first thing, and now we can just work on some single width lines around the square and start making everything look pretty. But I have to concentrate to make sure any debris is out of the way so we don't smash the mower up. The lads are cracking on with the hedge work, and now the field is complete. We are coming to the tail end of this site, so we can now pack up and move on to the next one. There's no rest for the wicked. We jump straight in the tractor. When we get to the next site, Ash kindly undoes the Trimax from the transport position for me, and we can crack on with the borders to get this sorted. You can see I'm leaving quite a wide area in the corners. This is going to be done with the right or the hustler, and that's just so we don't go close to the pass in case anyone's walking or to damage the blades. Whilst I'm doing this, you can see Ash is just creating a safe space around this cricket square for me on the hustler, and I start off with my stripes. Coming to the end of the field, there's quite a little bit to tidy up yet, but Ash gets all of the kit ready, so we've got everything ready for the line marking when we need it. Now with the line marking, we're having to make some pitch alterations. We're changing a 7v7 to a 5v5 just from the client's requirements for what's needed for the weekend. So we're all done on this site. All the grass is done. We're just doing kind of the final details. We're a little bit stuck because we've got a company that have come out to fit hardwired cameras into the vehicles, including the tractor. They just link up to our trackers. So basically at any point we can log on. So if basically someone's stolen a vehicle, we know where it is, and we'll be able to draw footage off to try and figure out who as well. So yeah, the technicians come out to site to fit them, working on the tractor currently. As soon as that's done, I'm going to jump to the next site, and then we're just going to have to juggle between the Ranger and the van to try and get back on the road, earning some money as soon as possible. But it needs to be done, so it could be a late day, or the camera install could go really quick and we could be on the road rapido, but we shall see. And just like that, I'm at the next site. So Ash and Cameron are waiting with the engineer. So currently the Ranger is getting the dash cam fitted, and then the van, and then they're going to meet me here. But I've managed to get the tractor done first. This is all sorted, so I can carry on, at least get the grass cut. The next two sites are mega quick for them, so it's literally just line marking and a little bit of border work, so they'll be in and out. But yeah, now got dash cam footage in the tractor, so we'll be able to name and shame all the absolute lunatics that try and kill me on a daily basis. Happy days. I'm going to get this cut really, really quick. We've got some time to make up, maybe show you a couple of clips of it, but we're just going to crack on. So let's see if I can get it done before they turn up. And just like that, I was done. I did this in a rapid succession, ready for the boys to follow on, do any of the outside mowing and the line marking. Before you know it, I was at the next site. I had to stop for fuel on the way, get the Trimax dropped, get the GPS turned on, and ready to get this mowed. And they turn up just in time, ready to get all the kit off and start off with the border work for them. I start off with the stripes, however, and we start putting this down. I have to do a double stripe here because it's mega tight either side to turn around, so it's much easier to skip a row and go to the next stripe to create a wider stripe. You can see the lads are running around on the mowers doing all the exterior border work, all the areas around the offices in the community centre, in order for us to finish this site. We're trying to beat the rain here today, so hopefully we can get the best quality cut we can, but if we need to go over it again, we will. These pictures are starting to look immaculate, and we can't wait to see what they look like next season after CutCrew has done all the refurbishment works ready for next season. Okay, so that is the end of Wednesday. It absolutely started chucking it down but we did end up finishing the grass cutting at the last site. Only issue is we got a pot back full of line marking because we couldn't line mark it today because the rain would have washed the lines away. Anyway, that's the end of today. We will see you tomorrow. What day is it? What day is it?
A few moments later.
It's Thursday. It is Thursday. So I've been to a quote this morning. I was up really early because the facilities manager basically had a really full day and he said, look, I'm getting at 6. Is there any chance you can pop over then? So I've been over there and done that, and then I've just spent probably about an hour catching up on the laptop. I probably could have gone home and got back in bed, but if I'd done that, it would have absolutely train wrecked me. I'm knackered at the minute. I don't think I've told the YouTube channel yet, but I'm doing a charity boxing match to raise money for Thomas's fund. It's not YouTube boxing for anyone in the comments that's going to pick that. It's one of the white collar events, so hopefully we can raise quite a bit of money for Thomas's fund. They're a charity, help kids that can't communicate verbally, maybe from disability or from birth, or maybe accidents they've had in their life that can't communicate any longer. So they use musical therapy to do that. So if anyone would like to support me, I'm going to leave a link to my Just Giving page, top comment, and also in the description. Even £1 helps, so I really appreciate it. I know that Danny Clegg from DSA Gardening's donated, Joe Chubb from Love Your Lawn, Rob Mallet VMS, Freddie Smith from George Davies Turf. Yeah, so really appreciate the people that have got me on LinkedIn or Facebook that have already donated. Really appreciate it. So plan for today is we got messed up yesterday a little bit for the rain, so we're going to go back to the site where we finished yesterday. We've got the line marking to do there, just a few little bits, finishing touches. I've got some quite high profile games there this Saturday, so I want to make sure that everything is tip top. Even if I need to cut it again, I'm going to do that if the quality isn't how I like it, but we'll see what it's like when we get down there. Obviously I was cutting in the pouring rain yesterday, so if we had any grass that's laid over and is now popped back up, we'll just have to cut it again, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Want it looking good. After that, we've got a new client that's just won 11v11. It's a parish council. Their current contractor dropped them. I always get a little bit weary with that because you start to think whether they're good payers or not. Maybe that's why the contractor left them. There's not many contractors out there that will just drop a client. Most of us are pretty good, so it might be reasons for the client. So just gotta keep them at arm's length for a bit, ask them to pay up front and do all the things that we're supposed to do just to protect ourselves. Anyway, and then after that, we've got another site that I've already cut. I went to yesterday, all of that sorted, but again, we couldn't line mark, so we'll finish that. Then a residential, and then we'll see what time in the day we have left. Right, we're finally on site. This is the elite pitch that I was worried about, the grass laying over because we cut it in the wet, and I am gonna go over it again. So we've got 4 pitches to mark out in white, a couple in blue, but before we mark this pitch, I am going to cut it again. Going to attempt it with the tractor, cross-cutting it going the other way, see if there's enough space. If not, we'll have to grab the hustler off and do it with that. Let's get on with it. So with the decision made, I jump straight in the tractor and we start mowing this for the second time, just to get rid of any of those overlaid grass that's popped back up. And unfortunately, the GPS is down today, so I'm doing this freehand. Contacted ERH and he is on it like a car bonnet to get this fixed. And hopefully it will be ready for the next site. Okay, so I have moved on. All the line marking was done at the old site and we did end up cutting it with the tractor. We're now at a new site. This is for a parish council. This is the one where the old contractor left. So we got just an 11v11 to cut and to line mark. We're not doing any of the outfield or any areas like that. So when the boys come here later, they're literally just going to be using the robot to do the line marking and probably strimming around the goals. Just moving the mobile goals off the pitch now. Gonna get the boundary sorted with the tractor, then we'll get cracking. With ERH saving the day and letting us know what the issues were, we can now start plotting the boundary on the CHC nav because it is back in action, and thank God for that. We can now set some beautiful stripes ready for this new client. Once we've plotted the boundary, we set our AB line and start working on this 11v11. There's quite a lot of space so we can turn around, but I have elected for a double stripe anyway, just to minimise any scrub on the ground. Once that's done, the lads turn up, we get the pitch plotted with the turf tank and finish off the strimming. It's Friday, it's currently 3 o'clock, and I have had a really stressful day. I don't know whether I got out of bed the wrong side or haven't had enough sleep or everything's just catching up, but today has been brutal. So we've been waiting for a paint delivery. I ordered paint on Tuesday and normally it comes next day, so we've booked in ad hoc line marking jobs and things like that with the vision of getting them done yesterday. Then had the issue of, are we going to be able to do it on Friday? Is the weather going to be okay? And the paint didn't arrive. Again, got to about 10 o'clock today, so I've called the manufacturer and just say, look, you said the paint was sent out, when's it coming? They booked it in for a PM delivery, which is mental. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday PM basically, we've gone without paint because we run out yesterday, so we couldn't fulfill any ad hoc jobs. And it's just all piling up. And we've made, obviously, promises to get pitches done ready for Saturday games. So today has been like, I think the plan has changed like 3 or 4 times, and it's literally just brutal. It's just like absolutely brutal having to call people, organise things constantly and just fix things. I know it's all part of it, but I don't know why, but today it's just really pissing me off. Like, really pissing me off. Yeah, it's not great at all. We've probably lost about £1,000 in revenue waiting for a paint delivery, which is one side of it, and the second is, are these people going to use us again if we don't fulfill it? So now I'm having to run about. I've got 2 pitches to mow and cut, and again, I could have gone to them this morning and mowed them, but then I would have had to travel 25 miles back to get the paint, to then travel another 25 miles to get the pitches done. It's just like been an absolute nightmare. I've still got some grass that needs cutting on a parish council with the hustler. That's been tied up because, again, is there any point in me travelling down somewhere to come back? We've then got people like messaging, stressed, just one of them. Anyway, I'm on the way to cut some pitches and mark them. Don't know if I'm going to run out of sunlight, don't know if I'm going to get everything that I want to get done today to make tomorrow easier, but yeah, I'm done with this week already, just done. It's not a happy Friday, it's probably not going to be a happy Saturday. Stress. So we managed to get 2 pitches marked and lined, which has taken the pressure off for tomorrow a little bit. However, I had someone pull out on me and it has literally destroyed my brake pads. Luckily, no damage to the vehicle and I am okay. Ash has run to my motor factors to grab me some pads there back at the unit. I'm very gently getting myself back to the unit and I've got to change the pads tonight. Not something I needed, but happy days. It'll be sorted. Just one of those things. All the work's piled up and we've got some pressure on us tomorrow. Ash should have a relatively straightforward day, just mowing a little bit at a parish council and then some hedges, and then I'm line marking pretty much all day, so we'll see how it all unfolds. But this weather is not helping us. Saturday morning, I'm on site at the first line marking job. Yesterday I was actually kind of lucky and kind of not lucky at the same time, because we managed to get all the stuff down in Milton Keynes done, so I've not got to travel down there today, but I've got quite a few line marking jobs in the local area, so gonna get the trike out, get this one squared away, and then see how the day goes. I don't know what I'm gonna film today because I'm very conscious that you guys probably just don't want to see line marking, but we'll see. Anyway, Ash is down cutting some grass for a parish council, then he's got an NHS facility to sort out, so busy day for us both. And we leave you at the Mighty Fine and Volta at another end of episode as I wait for Matt to mow the field so I can line mark it. Have a good one. See you in the next one.